see. Well, this strategy, one way that I've done, I've introduced these strategies before. Is you do it at the start of school. When the kids are getting introduced to middle school, especially, we're doing this with 7th graders, and in Fairfax County, most of our middle schools start in the 7th grade. So you can start using these strategies right at the beginning of the year with, kind of as the introduction to the school, along with the introduction to a new strategy. You can use the bonus 6 thinking hats with Poe Middle School. What are the facts of Poe Middle School? What are your emotions here on the 3rd day of school? What are the weaknesses that you see so far? Things like that. So maybe that's a really interesting way to introduce it. And then all of a sudden they have a new strategy, and then you can integrate it later on into the curriculum with history or language arts or whatever. You can use a strategy. It's probably not an everyday thing because you do need to move beyond just doing process. So you do need to differentiate with product or with ability or whatever else. But this is a good way to get outside of the typical read and answer questions. You're still reading and you're still answering questions, but you're doing it in a different structured way, which makes, I think, the kids a lot more interested. It gives them just a different way to think, and they like different ways to think beyond just, well, what did Johnny say to Susie? Well, here it's, well, Johnny said to Susie this, and he was thinking about this, and his emotion about, so instead of a straightforward question, and all of a sudden now there's 6 different questions. And as for the grouping, there's benefits to grouping it randomly, because you never know what the kids, kind of Forrest Gump, you never know what you're going to get with these kids. You may put the kids in a group randomly, and then all of a sudden you see that a student who hasn't talked all year, all of a sudden, guess what? They have a lot of emotions built up that they can really use that red hat to show through. So sometimes random grouping is great, but oftentimes what you do want to do is get them in a grouping based on ability or based on, you kind of want to spread out the fact-based thinkers, the emotional thinkers, so that every group has a little bit of each. Or you can use the grouping by, if you have different level articles, one article is a little bit higher level, one's right on grade level, maybe one's a little bit below. The kids will never know the difference. They won't know which, but if you get all the the high readers, and give them one article, the middle readers one article, and they're all talking about the same concept, they're all using the same process. It's just, to them it's just a different topic. But for the teacher, that you're differentiating based on what they can do, which is a nice thing to use.